everyone. Today I wanted to make a quick video that was requested by one of my viewers. She asked in the comment section if I had any advice on how to get rid of ants. And so I just want to take this video and address anything like creepy crawly that we have in our house and some remedies to help get rid of the unwanted pest. First of all, I will be honest with you. We have a routine bug man, and I'm a big believer in that. I do try to limit the chemicals and toxins in our home, but I do not get down with the bugs. So I have them come regularly, and if I see anything, I will call them and have them come back and spray. But in between, I do like to use natural remedies and things that I think also work. So I want to talk about ants, but I also want to just talk about some other household things and problems that we have, especially in the summer. And I want to share with you some things that we have used that have worked. And then I went and just looked up some stuff. So I want to kind of give some insight on that too. First, let's talk about the ants because that's what was requested. So for ants, the biggest thing is finding the source. Like, why are they attracted to the home? I think in her comment she said they weren't actually in, they were more in the garage and in the yard. So I would say go look around outside, see what it is that they're being attracted to, and see if you can address that first. But just some natural remedies, things that I saw online, they said to mix a half and half ratio of vinegar and water. And you could actually spray that on the ants. It's supposed to kill them and then clean up the ants. But also you can spray that in the area that you see the ants are migrating to, and it helps deter them from coming. Peppermint oil. If you watched my pantry video, you saw that I cleaned out my shelves with peppermint oil and water. Peppermint oil and tea tree oil, but any oils like that are really good deterrents for bugs and pests. They don't like the odor of it at all, so I have found that you can wipe down your windowsills, your door frames. You can put it in a spray bottle and mix it with a little bit of peppermint oil and a little bit of water and just kind of spray it around your house in areas that you know you have the ants. But that will help deter flies and many other bugs and stuff from coming inside as well. So try that. If you're looking for a specific trap, Terro, the Terro brand, is a good brand. I'm actually going to link in the description of this video my like to know, and I have put some good traps in there and some things that we use as well, so you can shop that if you're looking for something in particular. But Terro is a really good brand. They make a liquid ant bait trap. I've never used it before, but my mom was telling me about it. She said she used it and like it really worked, and apparently it attracts them to it. They eat the bait and then they die. I saw when I was looking it up, they make an outdoor stake that goes in the ground. Since you mentioned that yours were outside in the yard, that might be something that really works for you as well. So I did link that one. Moving on from the ants, other pests and things that we have had troubles with in the past are gnats, drain flies, and then regular household flies. Those are like so annoying and so hard to get rid of, but I want to share with you some things that we did. So in particular, that's something that's hard for like a regular pest control person to spray for because it flies. So that's hard to get rid of. But what we have, two things. Actually, one I ordered last year. I used to have a trap very similar to this, but when we moved, I lost it and I don't know what happened, but I'm going to show it to you. It's called the Catchy. And this is it. Basically, it has a cord that it plugs up to, and at night it has two buttons and you turn it on. It has a little fan that blows. It's not real loud or anything, but the main thing is that it creates this like blue light. And on the inside, mine is nasty. It does have flies in it. Hang on. You push this button right here, and whenever it comes open, they come with these little glue traps inside of them. So what happens is the fly comes inside, goes down, it gets on the glue trap, and it catches it. It can't get out at that point. So the best way to use it is at night, turn all your lights off, put it in the area where you know you've seen the flies, and turn this on. They'll be attracted to the light, they'll go down in it, and it'll catch them. It won't really catch big flies, but I have had a couple, but it gets flies, mosquitoes, gnats, moths, anything like that that you have noticed in the house, and it really works. I've linked that as well in my like to know it. Back to the peppermint oil, you can wipe down your door frames and it will help deter flies from coming. They just don't like the odor. They're not attracted to it at all, so that really does help as well. The flies from coming to the house, there is a trap that my husband bought last year and he used, and I let him set it up because it had a lot of chemicals and stuff in it. I went crazy about it. I really am not crazy about him doing that stuff, but he's a grown man and I cannot stop him from doing anything. But this did really work. So it's this like plastic trap and it has this stuff that you pour in it and you twist the top and the flies are attracted to it. They get down inside of it and then they can't get out. I will warn you, it stinks very bad. You don't want to put it super close to the house because the flies will be attracted to it. It keeps them from getting in the house, but they're going to fly to it. So you have to kind of find a good space to put it in. But I've linked that as well. There's two different brands. There's one that hangs and then one that just sits out on the like table or wherever you want to put it. But I put those in the description as well. I haven't tried this, but if you're looking for an alternative to something that doesn't involve like the chemicals like the other traps, they say you can take a beach ball and you can spray it. If it's colored, they say spray it black or spray it blue and let that dry. And then you want to spray some glue adhesive to it and use like fishing line or something to hang it, and you can hang it like on a shepherd's hook. And basically the flies are attracted to it because if it's black or if it's blue, it just like looks like a big hole. So they're gonna fly to it, but once they get on it, the glue causes them to get stuck to it so they can't get off. I've heard a lot of people say that that works. We didn't try that last summer. We didn't need to because the other things we used, they helped. But this summer, if we need it, I'll try it and let y'all know. There is a trap that is made for inside the house. It's like a strip of adhesive glue and it goes on your window. And a lot of times flies migrate to the windows. So this is good because when they migrate to the windows, they get stuck on the glue trap and you don't have to worry about killing them and having fly guts everywhere and all that nastiness. They just get on there, they get stuck, and then they die, and then you can peel that off and throw it away. For gnats and drain flies, we have had problems in the past with drain flies. At our old house, we had a garbage disposal, and I did clean that thing like they said to clean it, but it didn't matter. Like, we still had gnats like crazy. And so when we built this house, I was like, absolutely not. We're not having a garbage disposal at all. The one thing that I will do, and I do it occasionally, is I will boil water, let it cool down a little bit. I've learned my lesson. But boil the water, get it pretty hot, and then just pour it down your drain. And I do a pretty big pot full of it and just let it run through. It just helps like clean out the pipes, get any grime, any dirt, whatever gets in those nasty pipes, and it cleans it out and it helps get rid of them. That helps deter them. And then also the Taro brand, that's just a really good brand, but they make these like fruit fly traps. You can get them from Target, Walmart, Home Depot, Lowe's, most places like that. And they're made for fruit flies, but I will actually set them all over the house, especially places that like in bathrooms or where we know we have drains if we're having issues with that, and they will get attracted to the stuff that's inside of it. It smells like an apple cider vinegar mixture. I've tried to refill it with just apple cider vinegar before and it didn't work, so there must be something else in it that they put in that. But anyways, essentially they like the sweet smell of it and they go down in it to eat it or whatever and they get stuck. And that really does work. If you don't want to do that and you want to try to make your own mixture of something to catch gnats and flies, online I read that you can mix 2 tablespoons of apple cider vinegar, a little bit of warm water, and 1 tablespoon of sugar and 6 drops of liquid dish soap. And you put it in a small bowl, sit it on the counter, and again, it's supposed to attract the gnats and stuff to it, and when they get in it, they can't get out. I've tried that before years back, and it did work. Times past, and like past summer, we just did those fruit fly traps because they were working. But if you weren't wanting to do that, you wanted to do something different, you can try that mixture as well. Moving on from all of the flies and stuff like that, something that people don't really talk about, and I think some people, they don't even know what they are, that's really gross is called weevils. So weevils will get in your grains, flour, sugar, things in the pantry, cereal, crackers, anything like that. That's what they like. One thing and one reason why I really like those clear airtight containers is not only for the looks, but also because it helps my food to stay clean and not get anything inside of it. So whenever I'm doing my pantry, as y'all saw, I get rid of all the cardboard and I put things in airtight containers. If you've noticed, I don't keep flour, sugar, oatmeal. I don't keep things like that in my pantry. I actually keep those in the fridge because that will prevent you from getting weevils in that food. Now, I do have some floating shelves in my kitchen, and I really wanted to put my flour, sugar, and brown sugar in those like clear glass containers. They are airtight, and I put them on the shelf for looks. I always check it before I use it, but so far it's been fine. I haven't had anything in it, so you can try that as well. But if you don't have that, or you just are not quite sure and you want to be extra safe, store your meal, flour, oatmeal, store all of those things in the fridge. It's not going to hurt it. It's not going to mess it up. It makes it taste just fine, but it's just going to keep you from having the nasty weevils because you do not want that. I think that's for the most part. I mean, there's lots of other things, spiders and stuff like that, but like I said, one of the common things that I was reading is the peppermint oil, the tea tree oil, eucalyptus oil, any of those like minty smelling oils. Bugs do not like those. So if you will just put a little bit on a damp washcloth and wipe down window sills, door frames, put it in a spray bottle, spray around your doors, that will help deter them as well. But those are just some tricks that we like to use in between our routine Bugman coming. And so I wanted to share that today. Also, before we go, I want to share a little funny story with you. So we all get something in our house like at some point. It's just gonna happen. But okay, we had the routine Bugman come and he sprayed, and I don't know if it was because they were in and out and that's how this happened, but long story short, they came and they sprayed, and that night I put my kids to bed and I decided I was going to stay up late and watch a movie. And so when I got up to go to bed, I went to walk from my couch to the end, like where I had my table to turn the lamp off, and I noticed at the end of my area rug, I looked down, I saw something move. And it was like blackish brown color, and it kind of got longer and then it got smaller. And I thought initially, I was like, oh, gross, it's a big old earthworm. And then I stopped and I was like, that's a really big worm. So I looked down again, and y'all, it was not a worm. It was a snake in my house in the middle of the night, and my husband was at work and my kids were asleep. So I screamed. I jumped on top of the couch and I was like, what am I gonna do? I would hate to burn down a brand new house, but I don't know how else to get rid of it. So I called my husband and I was like, I don't know what to do. There's a snake in the house. And he thought I was joking. So I had to FaceTime him and show him. And of course he couldn't leave work. He couldn't come home to get it. So he was like, you need to get a bucket or something and trap it. I didn't have a bucket. All I had was a Tupperware bowl. So I took my Tupperware bowl and I like ring tossed it thinking I was going to catch it. And I just hit it and then it pissed the snake off. So it starts coming at me really fast. And I was screaming and running, and finally I threw it again and I did catch it. And when I caught it, like half of its tail was still sticking out. I grabbed some books and I threw it on top of it really quick to like trap it. And I called my husband back. I was like, I think I got it, but what do I do now? Because I mean, I'm obviously not going to go to sleep knowing that thing is in here and it could get out and then get in the bed with me at night. Like, no. So I called my dad, who thankfully lives just right up the road, and he comes in the middle of the night and he brings his garden hoe. And we try to get it, and we're thinking we're gonna like slide it and then get it outside and kill it. But this thing was so mad that was just not happening. So anyways, we ended up having to kill the daggum snake in the middle of my kitchen with the garden hoe. Tell me your country without telling me your country. So anyways, I have hardwoods. I couldn't use bleach on that, and I'm sitting here thinking, what can I spray on this? What can I use to kill it? So anyways, I ended up getting it cleaned up and definitely threw away that Tupperware. From now on, I can literally not walk through the house at night without shining my flashlight. Like, I'm always scared to death. I swear I didn't sleep that night. I like stripped the bed sheets. I looked under the bed and I called the bug man the next day. Thankfully, since then, I haven't seen any more snakes. I hope that didn't happen again, but I'm forever staying on my kids about not leaving the door open when they're in and out for that very reason. But anyways, so don't feel bad if you have household pests. Like, it just happens to the best of us, and I hope that today what I shared will work. If you tried it and it works, please let me know in the comments. If you have any tips or tricks that I didn't mention that you want to share with some of the viewers, please leave that in the comments for us as well. And until next time, I'll see y'all again. Bye, guys.